Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome to episode 3 of season 2 of the World History and Geography GCast as presented by Gibsonian Institute. We are charging ahead with the legislative branch. All right, so once we get done with the legislative branch, I'd say that we're pretty close to halfway through this one. So we're going to really cruise through this. So today we're going to have the legislative branch following up with the lawmaking process. Good old-fashioned, I'm just a bill on Capitol Hill type of stuff. All right, so let's get to our objectives. We're going to outline and differentiate the parts of the legislative branch because not all the parts of the legislative branch do the same things. There's two parts to it. We're going to get right into that, all right? So here we go. However, before I get ahead of myself here, I mentioned in the 8th grade video, and I'll mention it to this 7th grade video, Country of the Week is being replaced because of how strong of a reception we got with the Where in the World Instagram edition. So check that out again today. Every hour on the hour, I will post a new clue until we get all clues posted. I have a feeling we're going to get it by, I'd say, the 5th clue, if not by the last clue. We got to get it. I'd imagine. It's a little bit tougher, but I hope you guys appreciate it. I got a kick out of it while making it. You know me, always eccentric. Good old vocabulary there. All right, let's get started here. So legislative branch, aka Congress, you'll see Congress reconvened today, or Congress did this. In the news, that means the Senate and the House. All right, that's both of them. There's two parts to Congress, or to the legislative branch. Those are interchangeable. Congress is both the House and the Senate. All right, but the House and the Senate have two different responsibilities in some respects, and we'll get into that. All right, so congressional terms for the Senate, both are going to begin on the 3rd day of January on odd years. All right, 3rd day of January on odd years. There will be special sessions called in by the president if something happens. Let's say a virus outbreak happens and they were not meeting for some reason. The president could say, we should meet about this, and then boom, they make it happen. All right, this happens oftentimes. If a budget needs to come to an agreement, as a budget is needed to come to an agreement, or if there's war or pandemics and stuff like that. Obviously, they meet in the Capitol building in Washington, D.C. And they're going to oversee agencies such as the Library of Congress, the Budget Office, Printing Office. All right, so just some of the ideas, some of the roles. But getting into more of the roles of Congress, they're going to pass laws to improve the quality of our lives and strengthen the nation. That is their number one job. The legislative are the lawmaking arm of the government, right? So we're going to break it down over time. The legislative branch creates the laws, all right, and the executive branch executes the laws, or makes sure people are following them. I'm really struggling today. And then the judicial branch is to make sure the laws that are being made by the legislative branch are actually, follows the Constitution. So everyone's got a role to play. Role of Congress, pass laws to improve the quality of our lives and strengthen the nation. An example of this would be air safety, banking, clean air, banking. Really good example, right? When we talked about with the 1920s. Oh, sorry, that's 8th grade. Clean air would be maybe when we're thinking with the Industrial Revolution, where people are starting to use coal and steam. All right. Family leave, labor wages. All right. A whole bunch of things. Anything that might be impacted on our daily lives that might need a little bit more oversight, the Congress has a little bit of power to make sure that that's being assessed, especially things like access for people with disabilities. Right. So let's get started with the upper house, if you will, the Senate. There's 100 members, 2 from each state. All right, if we think back to the New Jersey plan, this is what the New Jersey plan is looking for, right? They want equal representation for all the states, equal. They each get 2. It's designed to give each state equal representation. The Illinois senators are Dick Durbin and Tammy Duckworth. All right, both Democrats. They serve 6-year terms, and they're staggered. All right, so they both earn $174,000 a year. Qualifications: you must be at least 30 years old, citizen of the United States for 9 years, resident of the state that you are going to represent. And then in cases where, now there's a very famous Illinois case. Barack Obama was a senator of Illinois. State governor at the time was a man named Rod Blagojevich. He was found to have been possibly looking to take bribes or sell the Senate seat after Barack Obama was elected president, because it became he needed a replacement, right? He can't be senator and president. So what Blagojevich was supposed to do was appoint a temporary replacement, but it was apparently there was some shenanigans happening. However, he's been pardoned since then and is now back home. All right, so good old Illinois. Moving on with more of the Senate. The official leader of the Senate is the vice president. Current vice president is Mr. Mike Pence. All right. So the vice president being the leader of the Senate is a little bit more ceremonial. All right. And they're only going to vote in cases of tie. In the absence, the president pro tempore is going to be elected by the Senate to lead. That's going to be the person that kind of runs things for him. The majority and minority leaders are going to be selected as leaders of both parties. They're both going to earn a $193,400 salary. Current majority leader of the Senate is Mitch McConnell, and the Senate minority leader is Chuck Schumer of New York. All right, sorry, I had to go off the top of my head here. So those are going to be our majority and minority leaders. All right, moving on to duties. Excuse me. Yes, no, that's correct. All right, duties. They're going to pass bills, approve treaties, jury in cases of impeachment, and the 17th Amendment. All right, so let's back up first. Obviously, the one that really sticks out here are the last two, right? So passing bills are also going to be, obviously, you'd assume, the role of both the House and the Senate. Now, approving the treaties, this is where the Senate kind of has a little bit of a leg up. They're the ones that really are trusted to be making more grander decisions on a bigger scale. And then also being the jury in cases of impeachment. That just recently happened, right? So an impeachment trial was brought forth. There were articles of impeachment passed by the House, and then the Senate heard it out and voted on it, okay? And the 17th Amendment changes the election process. Before this 17th Amendment, the Senate was selected by the Electoral College in each state. However, at this point, now people get to pick the senators. So usually what would happen would be if a state was Republican, then they would just make their senator Republican. But now it's not necessarily the case. All right. House of Representatives, 435 members. And they are apportioned by state populations. This is the Virginia plan right here. All right. So this is the other side of it, other the coin. Every state is guaranteed at least one rep. And Illinois currently has 18 reps. However, with the upcoming census, there's a possibility that Illinois could increase or decrease in representatives. And it's elected by districts. Okay. So I currently actually live in a different district than where the school is. So I experience a different kind of legislative process than you guys will when you get older. They serve 2-year terms, $174,000 salary. Now the qualifications must be at least 25 years old, right? So a little bit more ambitious, maybe at a younger age. U.S. citizen for 7 years and a resident of the state that you represent. These are all pretty fair requirements, of course. The state governor will call for special elections in extreme cases. So again, where the role of the governor may kind of step in. Continue on. The official leader of the House is going to be the Speaker of the House. Current Speaker of the House is Nancy Pelosi of California, and it's going to be elected by the majority party. right now, the majority party is the Democrats. She receives a salary of $223,500, so not bad. There are going to be majority and minority leaders selected as leaders of both parties. All right, and they're going to get the $193,400 salary. So a lot of different salary scales within the congressional leadership. The duties, revenue bills. This is going to be big. This is where the taxation with representation, right? This is representation of based on a population where taxing is supposed to be. This is where the representation comes from. So tax bills must start in the House. Charging impeachment. So if they think someone that is in the executive branch is not following protocol, they can charge it with impeachment. And if no candidate has a majority in the Electoral College, the House of Representatives will select the president. Happens with the third election in our history, where Aaron Burr and Thomas Jefferson were tied because of a little bit of a mix-up with the voting process in New York. Now, special notes before we end this up. Congress may expel any members based on rules and procedures that they all make. All right, so they're going to round up in an area, and this is what we agree to do. Congress gets a new number every time the House starts new terms, so every 2 years. So the current Congress is on the 116th Congress. In 2021, we will begin the 117th. 2023, the 118th, so on and so forth. All right, so this is what I got for you today. There is an accompanying assessment to take with this as well. Make sure you've been following along, taking good notes, so that you go ahead and hop over to Google Classroom, take that assessment. If you have any questions on any of the content, want clarification on any of these, make sure you can check out the book pages that I'll post, or email me or see me at office hours from 12:30 to 1. Make sure you check Instagram, the class Instagram, to see the last day of the Women in History, but also the Where in the World. So without any more to go through, let's wrap this up. Have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you again next time.